Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome to January's to this month's Stretch the Sketch. And this, in the end, let me just say, in the end, I love this double page spread. But this one gave me a little bit of trouble. But I really enjoy this series. It pushes me out of my comfort zone. It gets me to do all sorts of different things. I really love it. Now, so the sketch, you have it up here in the corner, is by Juliana Michaels from Paper Bakery. And the first thing that I wanted to do was a 12 by 12 double page. And you're going to see in a minute here, I actually have some extra photos, which I think I'm going to do a little 4 by 6 little insert, and that will allow me to also do my journaling, because my original idea was to do what I did, which is to flip one of the pages and do the other page fairly close to the sketch. So I did do that, but my original idea was a 12 by 12. This photo was going to be part of this page, and this photo was going to be part of this page. But I didn't want to use white cardstock because I'm using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for January based on the Jen Hatfield The Gorgeous V Avenue collection. But it's a little bit of a cream based, and it's a little distressed, so I really didn't want to use white. And lo and behold, I didn't want to use black either. I definitely wanted pops of black, which is what I've done, but I did not want to use black cardstock. I wanted to use vanilla, and all I have left in my stash of vanilla, so I think I'm going to have to send Christina an extra little message here. All I have left in my stash is 8.5 by 11 vanilla. So I said, okay, we are going to do a double page 8.5 by 11. And originally I sort of planned it out still with the 3 photos, but then, now what I've used here, which I'm sort of a little bit proud of as well, is basically scraps from the last 2 pages that I did using these papers. One of them, I think, I did was the Sarah scraps when we did last week's, and another way. Anyway, I think I did 2 layouts with these papers, and I had some scraps left on my desk, and I really wanted to use them. But some of the lengths and sizes didn't work quite as well. So on the left-hand page, I went, because it's sort of on a rectangle instead of a 12 by 12, I made these lovely strips of paper a little bit narrower and got them down. But now you see this one here, which was the size of the scrap that I had on my desk, once I got that down. So I didn't really think of that quite enough, I guess, when I was preparing all of these. I just got them down the way I liked them. So I got them down in a similar fashion to the sketch, except I did some banners and I cut my edges instead of having them just squared off like in the sketch. But the rest of it is arranged the same way, a narrower gap between these 2, a little bit of a wider gap between these 2, and the offset edges are the same way. So I got all of these middle papers down. But then, mainly, I guess, because of this one, once I put the 3rd photo, I didn't like the way that was at all. And I didn't really want to put this photo up higher when I turned it this way, the way it is in the sketch. So I decided, okay, we're going to do 2. Well, you'll get the message anyway. So I got these middle strips down, popped my photos up on foam, backed them in black, and then I found, even on the vanilla, that the papers really just didn't stand out quite enough. So I outlined them, and I haven't done that in a very long time. So I outlined all the papers in black, and I loved that effect. And I did that with these 2 strips that are on the side as well. Originally, I had these strips down as black, but I found that it just sort of closed everything in and it was too dark as opposed to giving the nice pop that black occasionally does, or generally does, I should say. So I took that out and went back to this beautiful floral, outlined that in black as well, and I love it. And then I took one of my stencils, and it's a stencil that I often use, and I tell you that reminds me of a bit of a tennis net. I use it often with my tennis layouts, and my Glacier paste in gold, and I just put a little bit. I thought of stamping, but again, I didn't really want to use black. I thought of stamping maybe in a coral, but I looked at the layout and I really felt that I wanted to get the pops of gold foiling out a little bit. So I went with gold and I love it. In the end, I love it. I used just my little Happy Life gold foil letters here, the small alphas, and these are Simple Stories for Camping Fusina. This is in my, I am working in my Italy album again. I've done quite a few layouts in the last few days of that album. And this, when I was sharing with you the reviewing of that album and getting it organized to finish it off, this is where I told you that I was not a scrapbooker when I was on my backpacking trip, and I did not have any photos of the camping. So I just went on to the internet and I found some, and I used that here. And this was a campground that was on the mainland, which was quite fun. And therefore, to get over to Venice proper per se, we would take the water bus, and that was so much fun. So over on this side of the page, that is what it is. And this, I was originally going to get here somewhere or as the 3rd photo. And this is the entrance to the campground. This is the sort of cafeteria, the restaurant area. And this was the outdoor bar. And this campground, you could camp with tents, but I stayed in the sort of like a little bit of a cabin. And I'm going to see if I can find some photos of that as well, because it would be fun to maybe just do an insert, not a full page on that, but I would perhaps just do a little insert here, something like maybe even a 3x8 or something like that. And therefore, you know, finish up the story a little bit. So this page, I went back to basically the way the page is, the sketch is. My paper is therefore here. My strips are a little bit wider because it is on the length and it is the way in the sketch. I still used the exact same papers, the same philosophy, where I did the banners and cut the page so that they wouldn't just be a rectangular shape. I felt that gave a little bit more interest, and this sort of points over to the campground. And right here, just across, really from here, was sort of the bus stop. And here you can see over on the Venice side, this is a bus stop here. And I took a picture here from the water. So I thought that was fun. Again, use the same stencil, my gold Glacier paste, which I love. And if you look at the sketch, there really isn't any embellishing done, except for really these paper strips, and maybe in the sketch the triangles are stamping, maybe they're stenciling, maybe they're paper, but I do love the stenciling and I love the pop and the shine that gold gives. And then once I had my titles down, this one, Water Bus, exactly the same philosophy, I really didn't feel that the page needed any other embellishing. I had the stickers from the Avenue collection out. I had some of the ephemera, but I really didn't feel that it needed it. So I just went in to my Spiegelmom scraps. I got the Wine Country and the Penguin Suit mixes out, and I did a black it's sort of this, it's more red than coral, but it does have a little bit of a corally feel, tomatoey red, and I love it. And the gold. And I got 3 spots of sequins on both pages. And there you have it. So I love it in the end. Now, this I might also add, oh my goodness me, I had to do this page with a lot of help from my little Pookie Chopin, who was basically just lying across my trimmer for the majority of the time. And I'm just going to insert at the end of this 2 little photos, and you're going to see, and he was lying there the entire time I did this. I just love this series. Thank you again, Janet, for having invited me. Please make sure you pop on down below and see what everybody is doing this month. There is always so much inspiration. You get TNs, you get 12 by 12 double pages, you get 8.5 by 11 singles, you get 6 by 8s, all sorts, even pocket pages. We do all sorts of different things, and they are all more gorgeous than the other. So settle down, have a lovely, lovely couple of hours watching all of the videos, and we will see you back here again on the 3rd Sunday of February for another Stretch the Sketch. Have a wonderful month, and I will see you back again on this channel very, very soon. Thanks for being here. Talk to you soon, my friends. Bye for now.